everybody. Today I'm talking about Nakshatra Compatibility, exploring the Kuta system. Kuta system is the traditional way of exploring relationship compatibility. This is for marriage and serious love relationships. During my Fresh Talents of Vedic Astrology conference, I lectured on this subject. And so this is a treat for you. I'm sharing it with all of you, my great listeners. Let us explore. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and I'm talking relationship compatibility. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. So today I'm going to be talking about the Nakshatra Compatibility, exploring the Kuta system. Kuta system is the traditional Indian way to match the two charts. And I'm going to talk about it in detail. I'm also going to talk about the non-scoring kutas. So basically the kuta system requires 36 gunas or points, out of which the relationship is scored. And then there are certain non-scoring kutas that I will pay attention to as well, 4. So there are 12 points of compatibility in all. This is a long lecture I did, so you have plenty of information. Do leave messages in the comment box. I will read them. As you know, I'm off to India just now, and so I'll be traveling. I'm doing the Navagraha temple trip. I'm taking people, like-minded people, my students, and a few others to explore this wonderful Navagraha temples of Tamil Nadu. And I will try to make some videos of that as well that you can enjoy when I get back. So let us explore Nakshatra Compatibility, exploring the Kuta system. I'm talking about Nakshatra Compatibility, Kuta system explored. So specifically, kutas which are connected to the nakshatras, and this is me, as you can see. And I'm just going to do the mantras because I love doing them. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirviknam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahman Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Adityaya Somaya Mangalaya Budhaya Cha Guru Shukra Shanibhyascha Rahuve Ketave Namaha. Om Devanam Cha Rishinam Cha Gurum Kanchan Sannibham Buddhi Bhutam Trilokesham Tam Namami Brihaspatim. A number of photographs are from my local temple, the Livermore temple, which is quite close to where I am. So these are my books. I think my website is komilla.com. You can look it up on there. They are available in everywhere, so you can see them. And also there's another resource you have. I have many manuals on subjects that are available that you may have if you are interested.
And of course, you're seeing so many of my students here. That is the best advertisement for me. I think that I'm always wishing that my students are better than me. And so many wonderful, beautiful souls here presenting, and they're all my friends as well. So the next live Vedic astrology course that starts with me is in March 2023. So, so let us get on to the subject. So, Nakshatra Compatibility, Kuta system explored, and mm, we are at the 10th International Fresh Talents Conference. So, this is my idea came to me 2013 that I should do this conference, and it has developed so beautifully. And now it is online. Next year we are going to do a Vimshottari Dasha conference. Mm, so so the Kuta system of compatibility, Kutas are units that are used for judging traditional compatibility in marriage. There are 12 factors to be considered. 8 have gunas or points given to them. 4 kutas have no gunas. The total is 36, and at least 18 are required for basic compatibility. However, this Kuta system has become like software just does it, and people just say, oh, you've got compatibility. They don't look at other factors. So often, high compatibility does not always promise a long relationship, as we must check the birth chart first to see quality of the relationship experience. In relationship, moon's position is important. Mars, if he is badly placed, even Saturn, other things, what is happening to the seventh house. So I'm not focusing on those things just now, but what I want to tell you is that don't just look at the numbers, but this is an important part of understanding what are the areas. And I like to look at the Kuta as a guide for developing relationships. The scores can be misleading. Low scores can give long relationship, whereas great scores can be a disappointment. The other aspects of compatibility need to be studied. And what happens is sometimes if you have a low compatibility score with each other, maybe you have a lot of karma to interact with each other, whereas high score becomes too idealistic. In the olden days, when arranged marriages were done, the people were very young, they were just developing along with each other. It's a different lifestyle. So we have to think about Kuta into a more 21st century thing, what we want from life, what are the things. And low kuta should not stop you from getting involved with somebody, but at the same time, you can see what are the areas that are not working. All kuta compatibility is done from moon and nakshatras, as emotional happiness was considered essential for marital success. So I think two important things here that we should consider. One is that what is the moon doing in your chart? If you have a difficult moon in your chart, whether it is with a challenging conjunction or badly placed or without light, that can be a problem. And I would say the bigger problem in relationships is that you're not doing anything about the moon. You see, anything in your chart is a starting point. And I think Keiko also spoke very nicely about the remedies, and especially for incompatibility and relationships, you have to think, how are you helping yourself emotionally? Because sometimes there's something in your chart that is hindering that happiness. And that is what is important to understand. So in the Kuta system, there are 8 scoring Kutas and 4 non-scoring kutas. And I will go through these in detail. And this is how the kuta comes up in the software. Tomorrow, actually, we got Andrew Foss. He's going to do some demonstration and question answer for the Sri Jyoti star. But here you can see that the points are given. This is Meghan and Harry, 17.5 out of 36. So 36 is the point system, and then at the bottom, there are the non-scoring kutas. And so uh, here what is very interesting is the first kuta is Varna is classification by caste. But you know, this is also classification of jobs. In the original system, the caste system was this, that we were doing this type of job and we married among ourselves, so that the couples knew what was the stresses and opportunities of that job. So in today's life, you can think about it as people say who are in tech jobs here in California. So the both people in tech jobs, you understand what are the issues, what are the things, or people in business. One of my friends was saying that you know, we have a business and I understand because my family was in business and I understand what are the pressures of business. Whereas if you're not used to business 24/7, where you have to work, maybe if you have your own business, it's much more pressurized. So, you know, this only gets one guna. It's not very heavy. And they have four varnas: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So here we see that Brahmins are the teachers, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces; Kshatriya are the warriors, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius; Vaishya are the business people. They are got Rajasic, Tamasic quality; Shudra are the workers, Aries, Libra, Gemini. These positions I've given from um, uh, B.V. Raman's class. So the thing is this, that these varnas, I personally find that one has to think now about uh, not so much the caste way, but to think about uh, what jobs people are doing. But they also, this varna deals with temperament. Couples belonging to same karma varna given one, women belonging to higher varna than man is inauspicious. Reason is lack of temperamental compatibility. I feel this is a bit old fashioned in the sense that nowadays women are tough. You know, in the olden days, the women were all soft and sweet and they were just nurtured. And so if they've had if they were with the Brahmin and they didn't know how to deal with the business family, maybe that is not so relevant now. But definitely deal with profession. That's what I find. A similar profession background is good for relationships, understanding each other's profession and stresses they bring into a couple's life. I have seen many relationships over the years and working, and I find that people who are doing similar things, they have much greater capacity to, if they're very diverse, then it takes a lot extra pressure. So even though this is one guna, then you know, one can give therapy to people that, okay, you know, you have to try to understand the other person, where they are coming from, what their job issues are. So this is sort of how it is calculated. You don't really need this now because it is part of software will do it for you. So Vashya means attraction. This compatibility is very important in understanding mutual attraction between couples. The attraction will indicate the ability to influence each other subtly. You see, this is what is most important in a relationship, to have some kind of a push and pull. Sometimes in a relationship, what happens is that the other person not bothering about your issues. And this is not like this passion of Venus or something. This is something that the person is, um, you know, can influence the other person. And here they take into account, this is the only place where there are no nakshatras. You are Chatushpada or quadruped, Aries, Taurus, later half of Sagittarius, first half of Capricorn; Nara, human, Gemini, Virgo, Libra, first half of Sagittarius; Jalchara, moving in water, Cancer, second half of Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces; Kita, insect, is just Scorpio; and Banachara, roaming in forests, is Leo. So here that's quite interesting is that if you are similar, that means that Scorpio does well with itself, but it can also do get 1 point Kita uh, with Chatushpada. So basically similarities give points, otherwise you won't get points. Then Tara is Tara literally means nakshatras, and count the nakshatra from female to nakshatra of the male. These are all moon nakshatras. Do the same male to female. In case the distance is bigger than 9, divide by 9. If the remainder is 3, 5, 7, then it is negative. If or the guna is 0. If the remainder is 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, the gunas will be 0. If the remainder is 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, then it is positive and the guna will be 1.5. Now the Tara guna is different from man to female. So 1.5 guna is given for positive, 0 for negative. You study the male perspective as well as the female perspective. This Kuta promotes mental harmony in day-to-day activities of the couple. And you see, what I find is that sometimes one part of the partner is quite happy with the other and the other one is not happy. So in this Kuta, what you see is, so this is Bill Clinton's chart and Hillary Clinton. So Bill Clinton's moon is in Kritika Nakshatra and Hillary's moon is in Uttarabhadra Nakshatra. So here we see that the actually this is the Navatara chart that I made. So you can see if you take from Bill's point of view, Hillary falls in the 6th nakshatra. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4. So from Bill's point of view, Hillary is emotionally satisfying him, working with him. He doesn't or did not have problems with her. If we look at the opposite, Hillary to Bill, you see from Hillary's moon Uttarabhadra, Kritika is the 5th nakshatra, which is Pratak, obstacles. So she has maybe had a lot of emotional obstacles with Bill Clinton. It's all very much in the public eye that you can see. Now, just one point I wanted to make. Bill Clinton, moon is in the 8th house. And moon has Rahu one side, but Rahu doesn't count. So this is an isolated moon. An isolated moon has tendency to isolate themselves. And same, see, in Hillary's case, it's fully isolated. There's no cancellation. So you see, these are two people, very individualistic, being together for whatever, and have been together for a long time. But long time togetherness does not mean that they were always on the same page or happy with each other. That is the thing, that when you look at these Navataras and you look at the Kuta, doesn't necessarily mean you have a long marriage or less. It's also the quality of the relationship. And I have another chart. This is Beyonce. And we can see here Beyonce has moon in Libra in Vishakha Nakshatra. And her husband Jay-Z has a moon in Virgo. And so both of them, they don't have anything with the moon, but this is not an isolated moon. Jay-Z has Jupiter second from the moon. Beyonce has a lot of planets supporting 12th from the moon. So we look at their things. So now we see that from Beyonce, whose moon is in Vishakha Nakshatra, the Jay-Z's moon falls in Hasta, Nedhana, poverty, loss, And see, they are married together, but there's been a lot of issues. Beyonce has been very happy, news of affairs, all sorts of things. If you follow it, you can not follow it. She's done a lot of music about this. I think Lemonade or something. She made an album. I don't follow Beyonce. I just use, if I get a chart, I look at that. And so, see, from Beyonce's point of view, this Tarabal is not there between the two of them. So there's a potential, I must say, the word is potential for this relationship to be problematic. And then from Jay-Z's point of view, we see he's got Hasta moon and she's Vishakha 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's okay with her. He's cool. It's not. So you see, then their points, they will get 1.5 points. They will not get the full points in this. So you see, this is. So when I'm looking at the Kuta system and when people have a compatibility reading with me, I look at these different points of, uh, you know, issues, and sometimes people will talk to me and complain about the same issue. So in this case, you can see that from Beyonce's point of view, there is a less compatibility with Jay. She doesn't feel he's giving enough to the relationship, and from his point of view, he thinks, no, I am, because he's not feeling that same stress. So you see, this Navatara Kuta is quite interesting. So then we come to the Yoni Guna. Uh, so this is four gunas are there. So you see, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4. And Yoni means a female sexual organ. And nakshatras are divided into female and male animal energies. Ideal sexual compatibilities between male and female of the same animal species, like Pushya and Kritika, the masculine, feminine of the sheep. Now, it is important to understand that just because you have ideal sexual compatibility, it may not be compatible in other areas. And this animal compatibility, I see beyond just sexual compatibility. I see in people with their animal signs or animal nakshatra signs, and their personality can be conflicting. So these are the Yoni Kutas, and you see here the horse Ashwini Shatabhishak. Uh, First is male, second is female. Elephant Bharani Revati, sheep Pushya Kritika, serpent Rohini Mrigasira, dog Mula Ardara, cat Ashlesha Punarvasu, rat Magha Purva Phalguni, cow Uttara Phalguni Uttarabhadra, buffalo Swati Hasta, tiger Vishakha Chitra, deer Jeshta Anuradha, monkey Purva Shada Shravana, lion Purva Bhadra Dhanishta, and you see here lonesome Uttara Ashada. It's the mongoose. It has no female partner. Of course, you could say that Abhijit would be mongoose, but no, the Abhijit is not used in the astrology. So not in day-to-day astrology. So we see that mongoose. So when you're looking at a personality, anybody with a mongoose moon naturally has a lack of skills of how to do relationships. This is a really important factor. And you see this, I think the good example of Uttarashada is Brad Pitt. He's had many relationships and seems quite good, but there's something there that he maybe feels inside him regarding the relationship energy. And also in the nakshatras, if two male nakshatras marry, it leads to incompatibility. Same with two female. Uh, it's just like if you are um, two Rohinis together, you're both male snakes, or two Mrigasiras together. But I would say this is still, there is some compatibility. Of course, in um, Jyotish, one of the no-nos is you should not marry somebody with the same moon nakshatra. So that is regarded as negative. And I think the reason it is negative is that uh, if you say just now, if you are Dhanishta moons, two Dhanishta moons, you are having a problem because Shani is there. So if to Shatabhishak, that is where Shani is coming. So therefore, when you are same moon sign, it is not very helpful. And then the thing that I watch a lot with this Yoni Kuta is the hostile animals. Cow, Uttara Phalguni, Uttara Bhadra are inimical to the tiger, Vishakha and Chitra. Actually, these animals are hostile in the wild. And the tiger will eat the cow in the wild. And that is why and cow is quite big, but there's a inimical relationship between them. And you'll see that if you get involved with somebody who has your inimical nakshatra, then horse, Ashwini, Shatabhishak is inimical to buffalo, Swati, and Hasta. Uh, I knew a couple that was uh, Ashwini and Hasta. And he always complained about her, oh, she's very dull, and would be rude to her and nasty to her, right? Talking in front. It used to be very embarrassing, but there's something um angry, or you feel that aspect that is there in the nakshatras. Then dog, Mula, Ardara, and deer, Jyeshta, Anuradha. So in the wild, the wild dog, he can eat the deer, and Jyeshta, Anuradha. And so mostly these enemies have been taken from the wild relationships. And serpent, Rohini, Mrigasira, Mongoose, Uttarashada. Monkey, Purvashada, Shravana, and inimical to the sheep, Pushya, Kritika. Cat, Shlesha, Punarvasu, and rat, Magha and Purva Phalguni. Lion, uh, Dhanishta, Purva Bhadra. Elephant, Bharani, and Revati. I'm just thinking. Okay, dog and cat is, rat and cat is the one that is inimical. So the relationships between hostile animals can create relationships where there is negativity within, or a person can take over the other person's personality and dominate. This is what I have watched in a number of hostile animal relationships, that one person's personality completely disappears, and they can appear very lovey-dovey and happy, but if you watch the relationship closely, post marriage, one person has totally surrendered to her hostile or his hostile animal. So in compatibility or relationship, I see this a lot. Of course, also looking at other people, that what are the animal, because the animal instinct is the primal instinct of an individual. So what is the inner aspect that they have? So now there's exception to the hostile rule. If the Graha Maitri is, the hostile animals can learn to work together. Uh, and Lagna lords are compatible or friends, then also creates an exception. So in order to see the hostile animals, let's say if they are grahas are friendly to each other, then that is okay if the Lagna lords are compatible. So say Cancer, Pisces, they are in trikona to each other, or Aries, Leo, then they have a ability to work, but they still need to watch that hostility. I find this Yoni Kuta very important because it's unconscious behavior pattern. It's a primal behavior pattern that people need to watch out for. So this is Beyonce and Jay-Z, and you can see here, she's the tiger and he's the buffalo. So you see that the tiger and buffalo, they are not inimical. They only get 1 point in sexual compatibility, but they're not totally inimical. But tiger usually very exotic, and buffalo is very kind of hardworking and not appreciated much. But they work hard and they can get things done. But you see, that's not an inimical. If it was inimical, it would get 0 points here. But if you look at their Kuta, they Shudra Vaishya, they get 0 points. But what you could say is that the Varna compatibility is there because they are both artistic, they are both singers, they understand each other's quality. So you can easily give them an extra point here. And they also have the next compatibility that is also there for them. But so Graha Maitri, where the Rashis are friends. So Rashis are the moon Rashis relate to each other, show the ability for a couple to be friends with each other. Rashi is Ish is God and or ruler of the Rashi. So Rashi is always the moon sign. So if the lords of the moon sign are friends, this is a good factor. So here we see in Beyonce and Jay-Z's chart, this is a very important compatibility. See, his Rashi position, hers is moon is in Venus, Mercury. Venus, Mercury are friends, but Nakshatra, Navamsha, Mercury, Mars. So you see there is given in brackets 0.05. So you can see that. So friendship forms important part of overall harmony. If we can be friends with our partners, lot of issues can be discussed amicably. And remember here, there's a mental friendship, not physical friendship. It's the minds are compatible with each other, friendly signs. So otherwise, one has to work with that. Uh, if male female signs are friends, you get 5 gunas. If one is friendly, other is neutral, 4. Both are neutral, 3. One friend, other enemy, 2. One neutral, other enemy, 0. There used to be a time when you had to do all this by hand. Nowadays, the software does everything, so makes life a lot easier for us. So then the 6 points comes from Gana compatibility. Gana compatibility is classified into 3 groups of gods, humans, and demons. Gods reflect the guna of sattva, humans rajas, demons sattva. Madhushri, she spoke about the gunas, so that is something, we can learn to work on the higher vibration of the gunas, because nothing is negative or positive, but we have to the starting point of the guna is like that, and we should not go towards the lower dimension. Gods are steady, humans dynamic, and demons can be sluggish. These qualities are usually said to reflect the nature of the individual. Let's say if somebody is all the time wants to go out and go and hike, and their partner is more tamasic, doesn't want to do anything, that is also a difficulty. And if it is the mental thing, sometimes, when people, I don't know, since I've become a astrologer, people think, even friends and family, they'll all tell me their complaints about their relationship, and they feel I have to give them advice on how to deal with it. And quite often they will say, oh, this person is not willing to do anything, or they'll say this. Even somebody being too sattvic is a problem, so it's the dynamic between the couple. So here, for people to be truly compatible, they should choose a partner who reflects the similar personality as them. So gods must relate to gods, humans to humans, demons to demons. But I would say this makes for a very boring type of compatibility, because you are doing, everybody is just on the same nature. But obviously what the sages were looking for is that there should be complete harmony, and whereas nowadays we are not in a perfect state. So here we have the nakshatras, and the nakshatras are divided: Ashwini, Mrigasira, Panarvasu, Pushya, Hasta, Swati, Anuradha, Shravana, Revati. These are all godly nakshatras, therefore more sattvic. So this is different from the gunas that we were talking earlier. But you see, there's so many different types of classifications that we have to understand them. Humans: Bharani, Rohini, Ardara, Purva Phalguni, Uttara Phalguni, Purva Ashada, Uttara Ashada, Purva Bhadra, and Uttara Bhadra. And demons: Kritika, Ashlesha, Magha, Chitra, Vishakha, Jyeshta, Mula, Dhanishta, and Shatabhishak. I think Dr. Charak said something wonderful about the demonic demons. He said they're raw energy, and the raw energy needs to be purified. If we allow that demonic energy to just manifest unchecked, then it can be very difficult. But we are mostly, all of you here are on the path of self-realization, trying to improve yourself. So don't worry which one it is. But the idea is that the similar nakshatras, and when you're seeing all these different kutas, you'll see that they don't always match with each other, that they're not always having the same compatibility. Here in Beyonce and Jay-Z, Gana, she's Rakshasa and he's divine. So they lose a lot of points here. So you see that his quality, she's more maybe ambitious, or she was raw energy that she has fashioned to herself. We don't know them personally anyway, we only know what we know as in the news. So then we are coming to 7 gunas. That means this is a compatibility that gets a lot of points. Rashi is emotional compatibility of 2 relationships that lead to prosperity, growth, and happiness within marriage. This is sort of very interesting. They say male second from female is negative, female second from male is positive. So all these, they have given male third from female is negative. But the real aspect of this Rashi Kuta is, and this last bit here, male 6 from female negative, female 6 from male positive. Now this aspect, there's a conflict between information of this compatibility given in Dr. B.V. Raman's book Mahurata and another book called Mahurata Chintamani. The main disagreement is regarding 6th-8 placement from each other's moon. For example, if woman's moon is Virgo, man's is in Aries, Meghan Markle and Harry have that moon. We'll just look at their chart later. So this position is 6-8 from each other. So there is some disagreement there, disconnection. And when we are looking at famous people's chart, we shouldn't always believe the news, because as astrologers, we can look at the chart as well and see something more. Dr. Raman says marriage will prosper if woman's moon is 6 from the man, whereas if man's moon is 6, then it will create problems with the relationship and its well-being. Mahurat Chintamani disagrees. It feels that both positions are negative. They are Shashta Ashtaka. 6th, 8th position are classically considered negative. So whatever your moon is, if you have a Libra moon, then 8th from your moon would be Taurus. If you're a Sagittarius moon, 8th from the moon would be Cancer. So you have to look at the 6-8 position. And if you're in a relationship then you can see what is the consequence. You know, these are all, we have to watch these to see whether they are really negative or not. There is a cancellation of this dosha when two Rashi lords are friends, and they are giving a lot of cancellation points in these compatibilities, which tend to be forgotten because everybody just puts it into computer and gets the numbers. If you get Vashya and Graha Maitri, either of them are strong, then it can override any negativity in the compatibility. So one of the aspects of Rashi Kuta compatibility is that moon of the woman should be ahead of the man. Man can understand and support the woman's emotional needs. If the woman's is behind, she's supporting but not getting supported. So what is the traditional aspect of this compatibility is that the woman is the Lakshmi. She's emotional of the two, more emotional, although I would say men are emotional too. But so the woman's emotional needs, they're saying happy wife, happy life. That is very important. So if the woman's nakshatra is in front of the man's nakshatra, that means it's moving away from the man's nakshatra. That is a better aspect here. And then the Nadi Kuta, this is the most important compatibility. It shows how a couple works on a spiritual level and how their union will impact their children through the genes they inherit. This Kuta has the highest point, therefore this lack of this compatibility means a large reduction in overall compatibility. Actually, if you have moon in the same nakshatra, you will lose 8 guna, Nadi Kuta. So Nadi Kuta is not there, so you lose 8 points in that. Nadi Kuta takes into account the dosha, body part, which are used in Ayurveda. Couples should be of different doshas, as similar ones create imbalance. Now, there is no research on this, whether people have different nadi, their children get affected. I know many people with nadi imbalance with perfectly good children. So I would say that take this kuta, but there's something on a very deep level which then there is a lack of compatibility there. And here we see that these kutas are described as Adi, Madhya and Antya, Vata, Pitta and Kapha. And here we see, and you can see how it is calculated. Ashwini is Vata, Bharani is Pitta, uh, Kritika is Kapha. Now we go backwards here. Rohini is Kapha, uh, Mrigasira is Pitta or Madhya, and Ardhara is Vata. Punavasu is Vata again, Pushya is Madhya, and Ashlesha, and so on. So it goes in a cycle. And then if you add to this the gunas and all the other stuff, you can see that it's not straightforward doing the compatibility. But you can see sometimes in people's charts when they are having issues that they can be balanced. Two pitta people, maybe too fiery, too hot-headed, two kapha people, too zen, two vata people worrying all the time. So this particular nadi kuta, obviously if two ardharas get married or are in a serious relationship, then they are going to have vata together. So they lose the 8 points. So in this kuta, you have to have the different of these lists that is there. Nadi Kuta is important for lineage, birth of children, as parents with good Nadi balance will also have children who are balanced. Now, I personally will not advise people on any of these that not to get married or get married. Only time that I would be giving some advices, sometimes, people have met somebody online and then they have, nobody has done that for a long time, but when I started off in my career, as an astrologer, then people would ask me. And one lady, she had a broken marriage, very bad marriage, where she had been conned out of a marriage, and then she was being attracted to somebody. And I think that was the lowest compatibility I'd seen. So I explained to her, but most often people will not, uh, they don't come to you. If they're in a relationship, if you tell them this is not working, they don't want to know you. Because they want it to work, because they are emotionally invested in a relationship. So this is William and Kate relationship, and they have 28 out of 36. And actually you can see why they have. William has moon in Ardhara, and I forgot to put the points, and Kate has moon in Ardhara. But this is beyond the thing. Both have got moon Rahu conjunction, so they'd be very vata right now with all the sort of scandal going around. Both of them will be super vata just now. And also you can see this is why they don't want the same moons. That Saturn has been eighth from both their moons, so that is a Ashtama Shani. And so both Ardhara Nakshatra and so if you have the same, you have 28. I just put this red and blue. Blue is Kate and red is, and Kate Middleton has chart data available in Astro Data Bank. I forgot to put it here, but you can find it. So this is the Varna compatibility. And you can see here, because they have Ardhara, both of them are Ardhara, they are getting 100% compatibility. Only the Nadi Kuta is not there. However, the software is giving you an option that in the Navamsha, it's Kapha and Pitta, so they are accepting it. But generally, you will have, actually they have some other minuses here. I'm just seeing, yeah, Yoni, dog and cat. So, dog and cat, they can fight. They're both female. You see, dog, female, cat. So in a dog and cat relationship, you could say, yeah, they can be fighting a lot with each other. Again, you see, what we see as a public figure is different from what is the internal reality. So then we come to the non-scoring kutas, and I wasn't sure that I'll be able to do it all, but the non-scoring kutas, out of this, the Mahindra kuta is very interesting. These don't have kutas, Sri Dirgha, Vedha, and Raju. So Mahindra is a Puranic mountain whose people worship Kubera, the god of wealth. This kuta highlights material wealth of the couple. Can they be rich, prosperous, and comfortable? Actually, this kuta is studied about that. Do they share the same attitudes, values to acquiring material wealth and comfort? Both sides contribute to prosperity of relationship, and they can fulfill the needs of the marital responsibility. This is not just about creating wealth, but attitude to spending, harmonious ideas, what to do about money, preserving it, spending it. You see, this is another big issue in couples. I see sometimes one part wants to spend and the other one doesn't want to spend at all. So then it's creating a disharmony. And you see, sometimes one can overcome bigger issues, but this is like a day-to-day issue about what you're going to do with your money. So this is a very interesting kuta. The rule is this, that the male nakshatra should be 4th, 7th, 10th, 13th, 16th, 19th, 22nd, 25th from the female. So if female nakshatra is Rohini, she will have Mahindra kuta with males with nakshatra of Punavasu, Magha, Hasta, Vishakha, Shravana, Purva Bhadra, and Ashwini. Now, this is kind of interesting because earlier on, Roxanne spoke about this aspect. Uh, uh, Not exactly for the Mahindra Kuta, but here what you see is that from the Janma female moon, you see that the male moon should be 4th, 8th, 7th. So there are 4 nakshatra difference, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you look at this, you'll say, oh, the male nakshatra will come in the 7th grid. This is Nidhana, poverty. How come they are wealthy? But there's a different clue to this. This kuta takes into account the increments of 4 nakshatras from female 4th houses of house of wealth, especially landed wealth, so that the 4th nakshatra is related to it. One unique feature of this nakshatra is they all belong to the same group of pada rulerships. This is what Roxanne talked about, and every 4th nakshatra shares the same pada. So if moon is in Ashwini, Ashwini padas are Aries to Cancer. 4th from Ashwini is Rohini, whose padas are Aries to Cancer. So the inner cycle is the same in all matching nakshatras. So 3 groups of nakshatras are formed. Nakshatras Aries to Cancer pada, which are ruled by Ketu, Moon and Jupiter. Nakshatras with Leo to Scorpio pada, which are ruled by Venus, Mars and Saturn. Nakshatra with Sagittarius to Pisces pada, which are ruled by Sun, Rahu and Mercury. That means 9 nakshatras each have similar attitudes to wealth. And therefore, if you have that compatibility or people want to be together regarding wealth, then that is good. So here we see Ketu nakshatras, Ashwini, Magha, Mula, Moon, Rohini, Hasta, Shravana, Jupiter, Punavasu, Vishakha, Purva, Bhadra. And you can see the same Leo to Scorpio pada. These are Aries to Cancer padas, and Leo to Scorpio pada nakshatras are Venus, Mars and Saturn, and Sagittarius to Pisces pada are Sun, Rahu and Mercury. And so each way you have 9 nakshatras each that have similar padas. And to have Mahinder Kuta, you want a partner who has similar padas. So here I have made another list of them. You see Ashwini, here I put all the colors that are matching. So Ashwini 1, 2, 3, 4, Bharani 5, 6, 7, 8, Kritika, Sagittarius to Pisces, and then Rohini starts again with 1. So in a way, this Mahindra Kuta would be really good if 2 people have Aries Navamsha together. It may not be compatible for other things. This is what is the interesting factor with these compatibilities. You get one compatibility, other may not be there. So you have to decide, prioritize what is important for you. And here I just made a list of this. You can have a look at it, and 108 nakshatras. And so we could take this compatibility one step further beyond just nakshatra matching. If a female has Ashwini moon in Taurus pada, one could say anyone in Taurus pada will be ideally matched for having similar attitudes to wealth. You know, I know a very good friend of mine, his wife loves to spend and he doesn't. So finally he has decided he's going to not bother about it and not get stressed about it. But you see that their padas are not matching. So that is something with the money. So Mahindra Kuta Pada Navamsha, the true Mahindra compatibility is judged from the Navamsha Pada and 2 factors. If a couple's moon is in the same Pada in the Navamsha, then material prosperity is very high. If they share similar group of the pada, this is good as well. That means it's not just the prosperity, but the attitude. If two people, they don't want money, they want to have a simple life, they still be happy. So that I would say, what is the happiness from that pada? Principle can be used for business partnerships too. Then there are Stri Dhirga. Stri Dhirga means long womanhood and is looked upon for long marriage, good companionship. Male nakshatra of the male should be ninth or beyond the female nakshatra. This indicates the relationship works well if they are experiencing different pariyaya or cycles of the nakshatra. Veda is affliction. These are Veda nakshatras are like those hostile animals. If you are part of a Veda nakshatra, certain nakshatras cause affliction or pain to each other. When a nakshatra is not kindly disposed to another, it causes problems to the relationship. So these are the Veda nakshatras: Ashwini Jyeshta, Bharani Anuradha, Kritika Vishakha, Rohini Swati, Ardhara Shravana, Punarvasu Uttarashada, Pushya Purvashada, Ashlesha Mula, Magha Revati, Purva Phalguni Uttarabhadra, Uttara Phalguni Purvabhadra, Hasta Shatabhishak. I have seen in my experience that these Veda nakshatras, there are people who are just hurtful to each other. And sometimes in marriage, the couples are just hurting each other for no reason other. So then you can look at whether the Veda nakshatra is there. And the Mars nakshatras, Chitra, Mrigasira, Dhanishta, cause Veda to each other. So then the last one, I'm aware of the time also. Raju means a rope. It is invisible ropes that tie the relationship together. This compatibility is about subtle connections rather than most obvious ones. Why do partners stay together? Now, in certain parts of India, Raju compatibility is very important. Whenever people are matching charts, and South India, I think if the Raju compatibility is not there in, they will not agree to the marriage. So I have a different attitude. I feel that mostly people don't come to me to ask whether they should get married. They've already made the decision. So one is trying to find what is the good compatible, how to deal with the issues rather than this is not okay. So Padaraju, these are feet. Ashwini, Ashlesha, Magha, Jyeshta, Mula, Revati, Mercury, Ketu nakshatras. If partners share this Raju, this brings about a lack of stability, tendency to drift apart, to travel away from each other. I know a very good friend of mine who are sharing this. And the biggest issue is of the wife is her husband's travel. So this Padaraju means the feet are walking always. So therefore, if they are similar nakshatras, this is a problem. Then Kati, waist, Bharani, Pushya, Purva Phalguni, Anuradha, Purvashada, Uttarabhadrapada, Venus, Saturn rule nakshatras, emotional sexual desires related to lack of sexual compatibility. They can be frustration as the mind thinks that their sexual desires are not being met. Now, in this, I think there are no, I'm just looking at it, inimical animals, or if the animal compatibility, the Yoni Kuta is less, then, but I don't think there are any here. Uh, then Nabhi, navel Raju, Kritika, Punarvasu, Uttara Phalguni, Vishakha, Uttarashada, Purvabhadra, Sun, Jupiter ruled nakshatras. Courage, confidence, security are the issues. Couples sharing it feel anxious, out of control. The desires can become overpowering, inability to deal with them. Kantha Raju, Kantha is the throat, Rohini, Ardhara, Hasta, Swati, Shravana, Shatabhishak, Moon and Rahu rule nakshatras. communication, shared interest, fears are the issue of this Raju. Couples sharing this can lose their communication skills, become aggravated with each other. And Sira, Raju, these are Mars ruled nakshatras. Dhanishta, Chitra, and Mrigasira deals with anger, mental control, motivations. As this deals with the head, emotions can split the couple apart unless they become extremely sensitive to each other's feelings. This can lead to unleashing of anger, bitterness, even violence. Uh, your moon nakshatra should fall in different Raju from your partners. This Kuta must have connection with dashas and sequences. Professor Jayashekhar, in his book, The Best Bet, connects it to the chakras. So you can get this book from G.W. Brennan at AOL.com. This is a very good book on relationship compatibility. And Professor has just edited it and re-released it. I do have copies of it, but don't ask me to send it because I am just not able to do that. But it's an excellent book on relationship compatibility. So here you see in Prince Harry's chart, uh, and his moon is in Aries and Meghan's moon is in Virgo. So what you see is that from Aries, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the moon is in the sixth sign. And from Virgo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there is some lack of compatibility also. But according to Dr. Raman, he says that from the sixth sign, if you take the moon here, moon is applying towards Meghan's moon. So if we take Dr. B.V. Raman's book, which he's a serious scholar, we should no reason to ignore it. You can see that he is understanding her issues. So that is there. Also, you can see for Meghan Markle, she has a moon Saturn conjunction. So this is what I was saying, that if you have some of these conjunctions, first you have to work on yourself, because once you can work on yourself, you are more easy to relate with other people. So this is their Kuta compatibility. They get 17.5, which is good as far as Kuta is concerned. Their Nadi Kuta, Kapha Vata, they get 8 points. Animal, sheep, buffalo, 3 points. But Rashish, the friendship is the problem, Mars and Mercury. And the Rashi Kuta is not there, 0 points in that. That means that the male is not the friendship, the male is not looking at the chart. So there, I think the software is taking the 6-8 position into account. Then Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, moon in Kritika and moon in Uttarabhadra. Here we see they have a bit more points here. Now, Varna Kuta, he's a Kshatriya, she's a Brahmin, but 0, but they are both in politics, so I would award them 1 point here. As far as the animal is concerned, he's the sheep and she's the cow. They're getting good points there. Rashish, they are friendly. You see here Jupiter, 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 Sun. So in the Rashi and Navamsha. I think that friendship is very good for them. Then Gana, Bill Clinton is Rakshas, human, so that compatibility is not there. But Nadi is there, overall they get, and they don't get the Rashi's compatibility. Actually, in Bill's chart, if you see, Hillary has a Pisces moon. So what is happening is she's looking at Bill's moon. Bill is not bothering about her. That is the most important of the compatibilities. And so many times clients will come and say, my husband or wife's not bothering about me. And then you can look at this Kuta to see whether that is true or not, or they're just, but here we can see that Bill is her moon is behind his. That means she's looking at his moon. He's going forward, not looking at her moon. So that is it for today. Um, Tomorrow, one sec, I'll answer your questions. Tomorrow we start at 7 and Vijay Goyal is going to talk about uh, the, let me just look at this. I'll answer your questions in a minute. Let me, yeah, tomorrow morning Vijay Goyal is going to talk using nakshatras to select auspicious Mahurata for events. This is a real secret that he's sharing. I've never heard anybody talk about it, which he's going to talk about. And then Bill Sinclair, Cosmic Lights, Narratives of Solar Lunar Nakshatras. Then my dear friend Ronnie Gale Dreyer, When Rahu Rules. So Rahu Nakshatras, and then Jill Jardine is going to do the mantras, Sanskrit mantras for the Devatas. So let me answer a few questions and yeah, Christine, what is your experience 6-8 moon position between husband? It is not easy because there's a lack of communication. So it is important that we have to establish a communication. It's very easy 6-8 position. While the going is good, it's fine. But if the relationship hits a bad patch, it is very easy to um, give up that energy. So Kathy has said, it occurs to me that a person with horoscope indicates a good, strong marriage will attract a partner with stronger compatibility, while a person with some problematic marriage issues in their natal horoscope will attract a person with lower compatibility. Do you have any comment with that? Uh, the thing is that the you're absolutely true, Kathy. That in the compatibility, people who have difficult issues, um, they choose the wrong person. I can give you my own example. I'm single now, but that is something there. If there you have relationship issues, your filter is not totally correct. So either you learn about it and you develop, or then you be single. So Anil has said, nicely balanced. I think we can see compatibility among other, so many things you can see in other people's chart as well. I mean, except for even the Yoni Kuta, you can study as animals. If a lion and an elephant get together, they are going to fight with each other. So you can look at that. And as I said many times, not offering the presentation um, uh, at all. Can this system be used for same-sex couples? Uh, Edwin has asked. Yes, of course, Edwin. It's the same issues. You look at the moon and the other person's moon. Uh, it is all about love. So it's about love and communication. So there's no different rule. It is just the same rule that you would use. Uh, so thank you everybody for no, Padma, I'm counting from female and male nakshatras. I think if you listen back to this um, uh, compatibility, then you will see that I counted from man's nakshatra also. But generally, the idea was that the female moon was very important. But you would watch from both the nakshatras as well. So I want to thank you all for, for all your attendance